How's it going, Yankee fans? My name is Alex with my co-host here, Ryan Garcia, and we want to talk about how freaking amazing the New York Yankees are right now. They are absolutely on fire. On fire. Their fire is not even too hot for them right now.
No.
They're just obliterating anybody that stands in their way. People coming out of the woodwork saying that Yankees don't beat good teams. Toronto fans been saying it to me all week, and I'm like, bro, we just body bagged your team. Like straight up put you guys in a body bag, threw you into the East River, and watched you float away. That is what the Toronto Blue Jays look like right now. Today's pitching matchup is interesting. You know, you got Manoah on the mound, who's very, very good this year. I'm definitely interested to see how the Yankees can take advantage of him. He has a 1.67 ERA, 0.91 WHIP. He's killing it this year, to be quite frank. And you got Tyone on the mound opposite him. So if we can batter on Manoah and really just demoralize this Toronto team, it'd be a really nice slap in the face for them. And I think it'll be fun. And like this team is just clicking on all cylinders, Ryan. I haven't seen anything like this before. Like maybe one other time in my life. This is one of the hottest teams I've ever seen. When you're looking at them right now, what is your impression of them? I know you got some numbers and stats you want to rattle off here to give us an idea of just how well they're playing.
So first off, I mean, I feel like every time we record, it's just like they impress me even more. And it's like, how much more impressive can this team get? At first, it's like, look, we're 7 games up in the American League East. That's a huge lead. And we're like, okay, big tough stretch coming up. And through the tough stretch, we've added and just buried teams, right? Toronto's coming off of a tough week where they split with the Orioles and they got blown out in one of those games by the Orioles. They have their ace on the mound today. They know that they expect, they demand, they need to win this game. The Yankees, by taking one game against Toronto in this 3-game set already, they have guaranteed that the Blue Jays can only be as close as 10 games from the Yankees. The Blue Jays at this point, they didn't accomplish anything. They're not going to be able to accomplish much in this series. And if you look at the Yankees statistically, one stat I find just incredible to look at. The Yankees have allowed the fewest amount of barrels. So the pitching staff has allowed the fewest amount of barrels, while the Yankee hitting core, they've barreled the most baseballs in baseball. In terms of home run rate, the Yankees hit the most home runs in baseball. They allow the second fewest home runs in baseball. When it comes to preventing hard contact, the Yankees are great at it. When it comes to making hard contact, the Yankees are the best at it. They are in a I don't know what else to say. This is a team that, I went out yesterday. I was hanging out with some friends from my school. You know, the Yankees are up 2-1. I'm like, okay, this is nice. Hopefully they can win, but I'm not going to be able to, check on the game. I check on the game a couple minutes later, hoping to see maybe the Yankees added a run or two, and it's 10-2 or 10-1, excuse me. And it's like, I mean, this team randomly just explodes offensively. Like the night against Tampa, they couldn't score much, but they got the job done. And then against Toronto, they just battered them. They took advantage of a team that was throwing out Ross Stripling and a bullpen guys and beat the crap out of them.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, I was hanging out with friends yesterday. 2-1, they have a slight lead. I'm like, okay, we're looking good. I literally put down my phone, pick up my phone 5 minutes later, and it's 6-1. And I'm like, okay, we're doing pretty well now. Put down my phone 10 minutes later, 10-1. And I'm like, what is like? Are they just like the scoreboard must be wrong, because there's no way that they're just putting runs on at this rate. And like Rizzo, Nick and I spoke about Rizzo yesterday and how he's one of the more underrated players on this roster, just based on the fact that he's not just helping tangibly, but also as a leader in the locker room and doing all those things as a guy who's like been to the playoffs, has done it all, and like just coming here and helping some of these even younger guys or these young bullpen arms, whatever it might be, just calming them down on the mound. He's doing so much for this team. And, we talked about the defensive stats, and like people will say like he's not doing that great defensively. I would argue there's not really a metric to say how many balls he's scooped out of the dirt. Isaiah Kiner-Falefa legit cannot reach for, first base. I don't know what it is. He bounces more balls in the dirt than I've ever seen a shortstop in my life. Rizzo has saved probably like 7 errors from this guy. However, I do like IKF for the record. I just think that he just short arms a lot of these throws. But Rizzo has been insane. The grand slam yesterday, he's picking up this team. Everyone's coming to play. It's not just Rizzo. Stanton, the homer yesterday. DJ LeMahieu hit a freaking bomb to center field. Like, where is this power coming from? LeMahieu, everyone's clicking. It's just insane.
Yeah, LeMahieu last year hit 10 home runs in about 660 play appearances. He's not even 300 play appearances into the season, and he's already surpassed. He's already at 6 home runs. I know people are going to be like, oh, 6 home runs, that's nothing crazy. But for DJ LeMahieu, who's a guy who you expect to, have a high on base, not really slug a ton, play great defense, right? For him to be a guy who maybe he'll get on pace for nearly 20 home runs. That's a phenomenal. You'll take it and more any day of the week. I know that LeMahieu last year struggled. He was an average offensive player, but people don't understand. For $15 million for DJ and $16 million for Rizzo for the right side of that, for the right side of that infield, they're getting a 120 WRC plus hitter with remarkable defensive presence and versatility, and then a first baseman who's a leader, a left-handed hitter, and a really good number 3 hitter. Like, he's not like he's a good hitter, I guess. He's on pace to hit 40 home runs. He's on pace to have his OPS well over 800. He's in a run-depressed environment. He is on pace to be one of the 30 best offensive players in baseball and be signed for $16 million, right? Like, that's impressive.
I'll give up money any day of the week, just to get good players, right? Like, we talk about package deals. A lot of people present like, let's trade this guy or that guy for somebody, whatever. I'm always willing to part ways with Hal Steinbrenner's money instead of sending away good prospects, right?
Absolutely.
Like, that's just like the mentality the Yankees have had. But the thing about the Yankees this time around is that they're not the highest paying team in baseball, right? They're not like overspending compared to everybody else, right? Like, they're like kind of like, I guess in the upper echelon of it, but like the Mets are spending a lot more. Like, there's teams that are the Dodgers, there's teams that are spending more than the Yankees, but the Yankees are still performing astronomically better. So like the narrative that the Yankees buy everybody about this and that, that's gone now. Like, that narrative is no longer applicable to this team. They have done just an unbelievable job finding guys who are able to supplement deficiencies. Like, look at the bullpen, right? We're doing all of this with like Marinaccio, like Wandy, like Manny Banuelos, these guys were not supposed to be impact players. Not supposed. Freaking Ryan Weber. Like, who the hell is Ryan Weber? Like, the guy was Atlanta, Seattle. Like, he's been all over the place. Journeyman relief pitcher comes in, 3.2 innings pitch, gives up 1 run, looks pretty solid. Guys throwing frisbees out there, and then you have freaking Clark Schmidt popping in suddenly and starting. And this is a team that's about to get an unbelievable amount of reinforcements in the bullpen, too. You're talking about Zach Britton in August. You're talking about Aroldis Chapman isn't even playing right now. You're talking about Jonathan Loizaga, who was like we talked about yesterday, the other day, one of our best bullpen arms last season. He's still capable of those performances. Then you look at Domingo Germán, who's on his way back. Where does he fit into the mold? Maybe they just keep him at AAA and just basically wait until there's a spot start available, like they did when like Luis Severino gets scratched because of a viral, infection, whatever it might be, and they need somebody. We got Domingo Germán sitting in AAA, who has hundreds of experience of starting pitching work. He's not a JP Sears. He's not a rookie. He's not a young guy. The guy has a ton of experience. That's who you want as your spot starter, right? Like, I trust him more than I did Luis Hill, who like could not locate his fastball, but just was hitting triple digits, and the guys were just swinging and missing at it. But like, Debbie Garcia is struggling. You need guys like this. They have an unbelievable just plethora of depth at every spot. Like you said before, DJ LeMahieu, the guy can play every single spot defensively at a pretty high level, which is just insane value. Got Jose Trevino for absolutely nothing. What did we send to him? Robbie Alstrom and freaking Albert Abreu. Like, that's a steal. Albert Abreu, they've already DFA'd the guy. Like, the Yankees scouting twice. That's insane.
Once by Kansas City and once by Texas. Twice.
The Yankees are just stealing.
Yeah. I want people to understand, right? Coming into the season, yes, I was frustrated the Yankees didn't go out and sign Carlos Correa. I was big on Carlos Correa or Trevor Story or Corey Seager. Just get one of those big time shortstops. But the trades they've made over the last year and a half have all culminated here, right? You look at, even signing LeMahieu, right? Like, if you look at what Simeon got after his big year, right, like that was probably the contract I would imagine LeMahieu would have gotten if he had hit the market like last year. If he had that big year in 2021 and had like the Marcus Simeon year and then went out into the market, you would have gotten that big deal. Instead, the Yankees got him for $15 million a year, right? Last year, not great, but this year when he's fully healthy, like, he's going to consistently be someone who you can start every single day at second, at third, at first, right? Holmes, I mean, I don't have to discuss Holmes, I think, right? Like, everyone knows what Holmes is at this point.
We know he's a beast.
Like, there's so many good trades. Miguel Castro for Joely Rodriguez. Joely Rodriguez has lost 2 miles per hour on his fastball and is borderline unusable in New York for the Mets, right? I'm not saying Castro's perfect, but you know what? Castro comes in, he has his blow-ups, but for the most part, he's a serviceable reliever, which is more than what Joely's giving the Mets right now. right? The Yankees know what they're doing. I feel like a lot of people have overlooked the very simple fact that when it comes to knowing what they're doing, the Yankees know what they're doing. They last night, right? The last 2 nights, outside of Jordan Montgomery and Michael King's stretches of innings, right? Who has been used that is a massive piece, like, big investment or anchor of this team? Without this player, this team is not going anywhere, right? Like, they can just go to whoever. Licky, Benuelos, these guys are not pitching in October probably. Schmidt even. Marinacio's been good this year. I have no clue if he's going to be on the October roster. I would say it's a less than 50% chance, because what if the Yankees go acquire someone? That's what? A fourth guy on top of Britton, on top of Chapman, on top of Loizaga. You have to get 4 guys off this bullpen now. 4. You have to pick 4 guys in this bullpen, a bullpen that's been the best in baseball, and figure out who's not going to be there in October. That's remarkable. And not even 4. What, 5? Because you're going to take one of the 4-5 stars and put them in the bullpen. Like, good God, man, the depth is remarkable. Like, good God, poor us. We have to deal with Miguel Castro having a meltdown outing once in a while, and then the Yankees will make a comeback and win the game. Like, it's just, this team is just a unit. They know how to win. They know how to, it's night in, night out. You close your eyes, you can, just sit back, relax, and watch the team play their game, and they will win those games.
I mean, bro, this is not even just sitting back and watching them. Like, we're watching boxing matches, and it's like Mike Tyson versus like a 4-year-old. This is what the Yankees. This is like we're watching Yankee baseball right now. This is the best. Like, if you're a Yankee fan, take a moment, take a deep breath, and realize that you're watching some of the best baseball you've ever seen in your life, no matter how old you are. I mean, and we'll ever see.
Yeah,
straight up.
Like, I'm sorry, like, I don't want to, I'm not saying, like, this is not an overreaction, I would say, because this is just based on how they've played right now. I don't think I'll ever see a team start the season in mid-June and they have a 75% winning percentage. Next year, if this team is at a 65% winning percentage, that they'll still probably be in first place in their division at this time. They would be 10% worse. 10%, they would lose 10% more games. That's crazy. 65% win percentage would be a remarkable start to the season. If we would have both signed up for that any day of the week. We'd have been like 65 of our first 60 games won. Great job. We're doing great. This is awesome. Now, dude, 65% win percentage, we're regressing. That's regression for us. That's us getting worse. we win 3 out of 5 games. That's regressing. That's being worse. We win 4 out of 6 games. That's us being worse. The win percentage is worse than 750. Our win percentage would drop if we go 4-2. Like, how do you grade a team that can be this good? How you can't, because you're not going to give this team 100 out of 100, because this team might go on and win 5 of the next 6 games, and now what? You're going to give them a 102 out of 100? Like, it's impossible. This team is so good. It's just, I can't, man. It's
numbers don't even begin to detail just how great everything is clicking. And the standings and Blue Jay fans keep hitting my comments. They're like, yo, like, we're actually a good team. Like, we're not doing bad. Like, we're at, we have a 580 winning percentage. I'm like, yeah, like, you're good. We're just so much freaking better. You know what I mean? Like, you are 11 games back before the All-Star break, and you're in second place, fam. Like, the Boston Red Sox have a plus 54 run differential. The Yankees have a plus 140 run differential. They have more they have a better run differential than the entire AL East combined. Right? Like, this is insane.
They're a unit. Like the graphics would see, like, oh, look, New York baseball is running Major League Baseball. New York teams are running Major League Baseball. You see the losses?
They are.
They have 7 fewer losses than the Mets. The next closest team to them is the Mets with a 65.2% win percentage. They win almost 10% less games than the Yankees do. And that's not even a knock on the Mets. They're playing remarkably great baseball. And the Yankees are 100 times better than everyone else. The gap between the Yankees and the Mets is bigger than the gap between the Mets and the Braves. And the Braves are phenomenal, and the Mets are phenomenal. The Yankees have just been that good. I can't. I don't know what else.
The gears are churning. The gears are churning, but nothing's coming out. Right? That's how
Monty's
making.
Monty's our 5, and he goes out yesterday against an all right-handed lineup, 6 innings, a 2-run ball. And Nick said this yesterday. He was like, dude, I didn't even realize Monty shoved. Like, I wasn't really like, okay, cool start. Like, that's a great start. And we just like, They just, sure, another start in the book for the Yankees. Guy goes six innings of 2-run ball against a top offense in baseball. A great right-handed lineup, too. All right-handed, basically. It's not like this is a lineup of lefties. Righties that Monty had to go deal with. Scorching hot. Easy. Easy for him.
It's insane. And that's your 5. That's your 5
Yeah.
right now. So I'll finish it off saying this. Like you just said, the Yankees, first place in baseball. The Mets, second place in baseball. They're 6 games back from the Yankees. The Yankees have, like I said before, a plus 140 differential. The Mets have a plus 69. The Yankees have scored in the positive area. What? They're 69 more runs or 70 more runs. Like, this is stupendous. 71 more. I don't even know.
Their run differential is almost twice the run differential of the Mets. That's
twice. It's better than that.
That's not even a knock on the Mets. It's not even a knock on the Mets. Like,
it's just all of this,
the Mets are great. Like, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, this is absolutely insane, guys. But hopefully the Yankees continue this. Of course, Alek Manoah, tough matchup today.
Yeah,
let's hope we can bat him around. Let's see if we can beat some good pitchers. You know, we've had some good a good streak of pretty crappy pitches the last couple days. You know, with the bullpen game, you know, against Tampa Bay, and then the Blue Jays, obviously, you know, kind of Ross Stripling, we kind of really crushed him. So hopefully we take advantage of one of their better pitchers and we can show that, you know, this offense, and they have been doing this, you know, even Kyle Higashioka off of Shane McClanahan. Insane. Guys, you don't even know, popping up, hitting homers, dingers off of amazing pitchers. And you're like, when you have Kyle Higashioka hitting dingers off of Shane McClanahan, you know this team is clicking. I think that's the best way to put it. But guys, I hope you enjoyed this video talking about how great this Yankee team is right now. Let's enjoy every freaking moment of this because we deserve it. And it's been a long COVID era, and I'm so excited to just be watching amazing baseball every day. And I know you guys are as well. So let's go Yankees. Let's win this game today. As always, make sure to like and subscribe and leave us a comment below. Always love to hear your thoughts and conversation starters in the comment section on YouTube. So much love as always. We'll catch you guys on the next Fireside Yankees episode.